A storm creepy when you're far away from the home that will soon be leaving.
Good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure and it's an honour to welcome Óráid, Irish President Catherone Connolly.
I've just had the most wonderful tour of this wonderful facility, and I'm just taking it all in, and thank you very much. I'm absolutely delighted to be here in the London Irish Centre as part of my first official visit to Great Britain as the 10th President of Ireland. And I know that you celebrated your 70th anniversary last September, and you have served the Irish community over 7 decades, and that you have managed that is an absolute incredible achievement. And I might come back just to the background in a little while in relation to how marvellous that achievement is when you look back at the very stark figures of emigration over the centuries. And I also note the wonderful plans for a new building, and with an invitation, I'd be delighted to come back when that building is up. And if you complete it in the 2 years, you're going to be an inspiration to many builders and local authorities in Ireland, and I'll be the first to sell that good message. So congratulations. May I thank your chair, Rosaleen Blair, your CEO, Seamus McCormack, and the entire team for your welcome, and also to mention the ambassador here who's been so helpful with his wife, and we couldn't have done it without you, Ambassador Fraser, so míle buíochas. Is cúis áthas dom a bheithan seo in London na Éireannach London, mar cuid de mochéad chuirt efficúil an mratan mhór mar Uachtarán na hÉireann. Mar is ó díobse bunaíú an tannad pobl seo I 1955 agus ó hinní le tá na dúirse, oscailte agus muintir na hÉireann ó bháilsiú is teo. Is even lom an méid sin a bheith eáil an seo inniu agus tradiisiún chafe an phobal ó Connolly bio agah. This centre is an integral part of the community in Britain. Not only does it offer a safe, warm and inclusive place for many to socialise, but it also offers countless essential services, some of which I wasn't aware of, so forgive my ignorance, I'm certainly aware of it now. The range of services from advocacy to art classes and so many in between. And support service, of course, and survivors support. And I know I'm going to be meeting a group of survivors later on, and I have to say my own life has been entangled with survivors on a personal level and a professional level for almost all of my adult life. So I have been given the privilege of knowing it from every angle. As a domestic who cleaned in an industrial school where my own family had been, to going back as a psychologist, to working as a barrister and representing survivors in the redress board, to then taking a role as a TD, where I watched the unfolding of apologies and waited for action, etc., etc. So I just mentioned that, but that my own life has been an absolute spiral of going up and then back down, and one can't get away from what makes us and what shapes us. Your inclusive place here and all its services is encompassed in your 3 core values: community, creativity and compassion. Each one of you plays an exceptionally important role in supporting the Irish community. From a smile or a kind word, and there have been many smiles and kind words today, at the door, and equally importantly, to providing a listening ear once people arrive, to serving a hot meal, today the group downstairs, different groups, or curating a performance. Every one of your actions in this centre ripples out far beyond Camden. Your message and your mission is that the Irish community know that they have a place where they will be welcomed, where they will feel at home, and where they will be supported. And indeed, as I moved from table to table today, what was repeated most often was, this is home from home. And really, that is a testimony to your work. The staff that work here, the CEO, the chair, and also people who volunteer. Somebody downstairs told me they do 40 hours a week on a voluntary basis, and that's some achievement. I'd like to just place that little bit of a speech and background in relation to the year that you were established in 1955. That year, official figures tell us that 50,000 left our homeland. I believe it was 55,000. But the year that you set up, 50,000 people, and that continued before 55 and afterwards, and that decade saw almost 500,000 people from Ireland leave our shore. And unfortunately that was repeated again in the same numbers in the 80s, where we had almost the same numbers of people leaving our shores. And that is the background within which ye have set up a home from home. And I have to say the official response from Ireland, and I've said this in another speech, was a little slow in catching up, to put it mildly, in relation to that exodus from our country. And I leave that for the politicians to meditate on. But when those thousands and thousands of people went to England, we also turned the other way. And it was your centre, the one in Hammersmith and the one I'm going to tomorrow in Leeds, that picked up, that carried out the actions on our behalf. And I really want to say how grateful I am, on a personal, professional, and as the 10th President of Ireland, for your work. When I say the official response and they looked away, they were forced to actually look with the work of the chaplaincy throughout the 80s and the 90s. And in 1984, finally, the Díon, and Díon is a lovely word in Irish, G-and-D-I, Father O-N-G, and it means roof, it means shelter, it means protection. And our governments successively were forced to look at what was happening through their reports. And if we then go up to 1991, again, we had another report, and I checked the Dáil debates, and there was a debate in 1991, in Christmas significantly, in Advent, talking about one of the most recent reports that set out the condition and status, and they said, of some of our immigrants in Britain. And what stood out at me was a number of things when the speaker, I won't name the TD when he spoke, but he referred back to a census in 1981, just 10 years before the Dáil debate, where 850,000 people born in Ireland lived in England. And they also cited in that report that the Irish people were not recognised as a distinct ethnic group at that point. They also pointed out that notwithstanding that they weren't recognised as a distinct ethnic group, that in contrast to other immigrants and arrivals in England, their rate of survival was lower. They were the only group of people arriving where their life expectancy was less than what their life expectancy would have been at home. And I just think it's important to mention that in context. There are many, many other figures I could mention, and I won't. But what they said in that debate was a number of disturbing reports. This is 91, showing the status and the condition of Irish people suffering absolute discrimination, worse than many, many other groups. I said last night in a speech, thankfully that has absolutely changed. And I think with that change came a realisation by the government, different governments, that our diaspora had to be valued and recognised. And they finally did that after the reports and after setting up the ESP, the Immigrant Social Programme. We finally then committed to strategies, and we had our first diaspora strategy in 2015, and we're now on our third one. And that is absolutely progress. And I know the money under the ESP supports the work here in this centre and in many, many other centres. That would have never happened without the various reports carried out on the ground by different groups over the decades. And again, we are very grateful to you for that. And having made those changes, it allowed our arts, language, heritage and culture to thrive in Britain. We were able to reclaim our language and our identity and our culture in a very positive way that gave us confidence to embrace other cultures and other nationalities. And I think really you can be so proud of the role that you have played in passing down our language, our heritage and our culture down through the generations, and increasingly sharing them with friends without prior ties to Ireland. And I think that's equally as important. Is síntóg an rud go bhfuil gaelgóirí ag seacht le chéile san ionad seo le beagnach 7 mbliain inis. Is ábhar bród agus misní dom go bhfuil war scoil na Gaeilge ag obair i gcóir le ollscoil má núd chun an tradiisiún seo a cuineáil beo agus a láidre. Cuireann sibh spás cuimseach agus fáilteach fáileann seo san ionad dómh siúd idir óg agus éasta mian lo an Gaeilge a ólam nó a ausú. Is fiú ór na crinne an spás sin dómh siúd atá chóir cuid de cultúr agus teanga a dír dúchas. I know that Irish speakers have gathered here for almost 70 years, and I am absolutely delighted that your Scoil na Gaeilge and partnership with Maynooth University, where I visited recently, continues this proud tradition. And when I was in Maynooth, it was in relation to a climate conference, and it was absolutely inspiring, the speakers. But as somebody who returned to Irish and continues to learn Irish, for me, what jumped out when I went back learning Irish was that an integral part of the solution to our climate crisis is within the Irish language, because they never ever had that false distinction between nature and the human being as exists in the English language. It doesn't have the concept of destroying nature, of extraction from nature. It has concepts of living with nature as equals. The convening of co-op groups, youth clubs and elder sessions ensures that the centre continues to provide an inclusive space for all those who wish to speak our beautiful language, or even to learn a cúpla focal. And I'm very glad to see so many of you here today continuing the tradition in the community cafe. But watlam tríslu liver fáda tá bansúg leis an bobbal éireannach áitiúil an seo I London, agus buíochas a gháilibh as an fáilte críúil a chuireann sibh raibh winseal war tír dúchas go London. With the growing demand on your services, I am heartened to hear that your redevelopment plans are proceeding well, and that you will be opening it in September 2 years. I just remind you that I'll be delighted to be here. It is of the utmost importance to guarantee that the work of the London Irish Centre continues for our community here. Guim gachra orf a charja, agus go ma fada búnsih ag fáiltiú a bhainseal uair muinseala, agus mohhuí costíobse mar Óachtarán na hÉireann gar maithagh.